Fortnite. Can you imagine how much Fortnite is going to destroy society when it comes out on Android?
Especially when it's on Google Play. That's going to be the best thing ever.
Totally right.
Tell the truth.
So this is what's happening, right? Everyone has been waiting for Fortnite to come out on Android, okay? It's out on PCs, it's out on the consoles, it's even out on Switch, for God's sake.
And Apple.
And it also is out on the Apple platforms, okay? And we've just been waiting for the day when it comes to, like, the #1 mobile platform, because Android is it.
It's so hot right now.
It's the most used, like, mobile platform. It's finally coming. It turns out, though, that it's coming on its own terms. It's saying, fuck you, Google Play. We're going to do this our own way, and we're not going to appear on the Google Play Store. So how the hell are they going to do it?
So guys, look, everyone is going crazy about fucking Fortnite. You walk into any store,
Especially
it's
the kids.
Fortnite list, especially the kids. Because we feel old now, I'm like, those kids love Fortnite.
Right.
It's huge everywhere, right? They're making like $200 million a month. You know, when a company is that big, I reckon they can start calling the shots in certain areas.
They definitely are. So as we've said, everyone's been waiting for it to come to Android. The de facto thinking has always been, you know, if you're going to bring a game to Android, you bring it through the Google Play Store, which is, you know, if you're using Android, you know what that is. It's a thing where you get all your apps. Okay?
Yeah.
There's almost no apps that people have on their phones that they didn't get from the Google Play Store. It is possible to install apps to your phone without going through the Google Play Store. It's just that most people avoid it. Amazon do a thing where they have a store and you can install stuff through the Amazon app and whatever else. It is possible to do it. So that was the thinking. It has to be through Google Play. Tim Sweeney, CEO of Epic Games, has just come out today and said, yep, we're bringing it to Android. However, we're not going through the Google Play Store. And he's given 2 reasons for that. He says, quote, this is in part to build a direct relationship with customers, but the decision is also motivated by economic efficiency, specifically avoiding the need to pay Google a 30% cut of all revenue generated by the game.
Yep. When you look at Apple, for instance, maybe they're like, hey, you want to put a game on our freaking platform? You got to put it on the Apple Store. So I believe it is, of course, on the Apple Store when you buy an Apple product, but this is different, of course. This is the only time where I've ever seen a massive game like this be like, fuck you guys, we're going to do our own shit.
Yeah, the 30% fee is pretty standard across different platforms. So iTunes uses it, Steam uses it, Google Play uses it.
Yep.
Quite a few of them do. I think even Good Old Games uses it as well. It's an alternative to Steam. But 30% is starting to feel a little bit rich in 2018. And in fact, Epic Games have been leading the charge on changing this. Now, Epic Games actually own the Unreal Engine, and they have a bit of a store that they themselves maintain that provides sort of graphical assets and engine assets, and they provide customer support, and they do it. Now, they used to take a cut of about 25%, I think, or so, and they've recently just slashed that to 12%. Because they want more people to get the engine into their hands, and they feel like the cost of doing business, the cost of maintaining that platform, they were just charging too much for it. Like, they just didn't need to charge that amount of money.
I can definitely see an argument there. It's like, hey, you pay us 30%, we give you a huge platform that literally hundreds of millions of people are actually going in and buying things or looking at, observing. It's a very powerful platform, and of course, it's in everybody's hands. So, in one respect, I can understand in some respects that they want you to pay a premium for that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sure.
But is 30% too much? I think you're right in saying there's so many different platforms now. The cost of this is naturally going down. Is 30% reasonable? Probably not now.
Tim Sweeney actually said specifically, there's a rationale for this on console, where there's an enormous investment in hardware, often sold below cost, and marketing campaigns in broad partnership with publishers. But on open platforms, 30% is disproportionate to the cost of the services that these stores perform, such as payment processing, download bandwidth, and customer service. We're intimately familiar with these costs from our experiences operating Fortnite as a direct-to-customer service on PC and Mac. So what he's essentially saying here is that, like, we know how much it costs you to do what you're doing, and you shouldn't be charging 30% for it. They put their money where their mouth is as well by recently slashing their own costs to 12% for anything they're hosting on the Unreal Engine, and they're like, well, fuck you, Google Play. We don't have to do this. They have to do it with iTunes, by the way. They've got to go through Apple for that. They have to do it for consoles. They've got no choice. But where they have the choice with Google, with the Android platform, they're like, you know what? Let's do it ourselves.
I think this is going to be a really interesting, it's going to be an interesting event to watch, because number one, Fortnite is big enough to like set trends. We know this. Are they going to be also big enough to set financial decision trends. You know, are other games going to come along that are far smaller than Fortnite, but see that they've led the charge and go, you know what, we don't need Google Play.
Yeah.
We can market, you know, we can do a very strong marketing campaign and get our brand out there, and then hopefully, because people have done it through Fortnite, they're used to the process of not going through Google Play, they'll also do it for our new game too.
It could mark a very big shift for where this all goes.
Sure.
If lots of other guys are looking at this and thinking, you know what, fuck it, we'll do the same thing.
And this is very similar now to what's happening on Steam. A lot of companies are coming out with their own launchers.
Yep.
Origin, Battle.net. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck, you know, why would I pay 30% for something when I can actually put it on my own platform, own client? You
So
know?
it's going to be interesting to see how many kids like balk their phones as they try and like
Yeah,
install
they're
something.
like, it's not on Google Play. What the fuck?
Oh god! And they're like, they have to like, they think they have to root it, and they like install like
Yeah.
new OSs over the top of it, brick their phones. But either way, it's interesting to know that they're still bringing Fortnite to Android. They're bringing it on their own terms. They're bringing it in a way that hopefully is going to reduce costs to the consumer as well. And I suspect that it might, because these guys are being fairly pro-consumer with the way that they've slashed their costs recently. Hopefully they're able to pass some of those savings onto anyone that wants to buy Fortnite V-Bucks and skins and whatever else. Who knows? These guys are making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
They're not worried about maximizing their profit at this point. I think they're worried about growing their user base and making sure that everyone loves this product. I don't think they're trying to like skim everyone for every dime, you know?
I think that I see two things here. Number one, we see a lot of big companies when they get bigger and bigger, you know, they sometimes become less about the consumer. It's like, you know, big profits, baby. But in this instance, it looks like the bigger they've gotten, the more influence they have, and they're using that power for good. You know, they're making sure that, you know, that they are using those powers to look and become more pro-consumer.
Except for the times where they sued like a 12-year-old for stuff.
Yeah, we can't forget that. But
and they're also suing one of their QA people for
they are too. Yes, we can't forget that, okay? But in this regard, this is actually pretty good. In this regard, it is pretty good.
So that's the deal with Fortnite. We don't know the date though. It's going to be soonish, I guess. They're getting down to the business end of things here. So hopefully it's soon.
Yeah.
But we don't know. Either way, it's coming.
It's coming.
What they need to do is they need to add like this thing on mobile where you can like group up with other people and play them like in person, and then when you beat them, like they get to punch you in the face.
That'd be great.
I think it'd be a good upgrade to
That'd be
the
fantastic.
overall experience of
I'd
Fortnite.
like that. Especially when they're like, you know, playing music in the fucking thing, and it's always this music, you're like, what the hell is this shit? I've never heard in my life, but it's very loud.